It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, perfect for seeing Taylor Swift the Eras Tour. Presented by Capital One. Ooh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Whoa, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
95.7 The Game is an equal opportunity employer, and we encourage local community organizations to refer qualified applicants to us. You can receive The Game and Odyssey job vacancy information by contacting Human Resources at 415-765-4011 or by emailing sfhr@odyssey.com.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Walking into the building for the first time after the shooting, it was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMC FM at HD1 San Francisco. An Odyssey station.
Good morning!
It's time to wake up. It's 5, and we're live.
Oh, is this thing on? I don't care. I want him to hear.
This is the Pregame Show, your early morning shot of sports on 95.7 The Game. Come on!
Oh, yes. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on this beautiful and wet Monday morning here in the Bay. Maybe I shouldn't say beautiful. It's ugly out there, folks. It's ugly. It is wet. It is windy. Please be safe if you're driving in, if you're just getting off work, just getting on to work, getting ready for school, doing all the early drop-offs, what have you. If you're traveling, please be safe. It is very scary, wet, windy. Was hydroplaning multiple times out there, so please be safe, be a defensive driver, be smart. Don't need to rush things this morning. I'll tell you that. Just sit back, relax. If you need to stay home, stay home. Download that Odyssey app. Favorite 95.7 The Game. And thanks for joining us right here on 95.7 The Game. We are live on YouTube. This is the Pregame Show with Joe Spadoni. Welcome in. And what a better way to start than talking about the San Francisco 49ers and their 10-game winning streak. Yes, 10 games the 49ers have won in a row, heading into a wild card matchup. Now we know who the opponent is. It's going to be on next Saturday, by the way, at 1:30 against the Seattle Seahawks. You know him. You know him well. Pete Carroll, that gum chewing, will be chewing this Saturday. What do you think he uses? Trident? Juicy? What do you think? He's a juicy fruit guy, right, Pete Carroll? He's a big juicy fruit guy. I don't see him doing those small little Trident pieces, Eclipse. No. He's got the big pads, the big wads of juicy fruit, and he's going to be chomping this Saturday at Levi's Stadium. Cannot wait for that. Obviously, we'll have all that coverage for you here on 95.7 The Game, all leading up to that matchup. Cannot wait. Just what an exciting day in the NFL all around, and then culminating last night with the Packers and the Lions. Hey, for the most part, we thought, Seahawks win. Now the Lions have nothing to play for. Not so fast. Dan Gamble was talking about it during that game. He's like, nothing to play for. We don't want the Packers to win. No chance. And you know what? That was a hell of a game from Dan Campbell, Jared Goff, Jamal Williams. Hell of an interview by him after the game, by the way. Guy's hilarious. DeAndre Swift, everyone. Just to stick it to your division rival. Only the fourth time in the last 30 years the Lions have won at Lambeau Field, and it was a big one because that was the narrative coming into this playoff run. If you can get the 3 seed, it's not the worst thing because if you're the 2, you're probably going to have to play the Packers. No, you're not. And you know what? The Packers didn't deserve it. I don't know why I was so scared of them because you know what? When push comes to shove with LaFleur, with Rodgers, when it's nut busting time, they don't do it. They can't. They get tight. And you saw it last night at Lambeau. They got tight multiple times. Going for it on your own 30 early in that game? What were you doing? That's like you're scared. It's a low-scoring game. It's a cold game. You punt the ball. LaFleur, I don't know if he's the long-term option there. Obviously, he's come short multiple times. You just think about the playoffs last year against the Niners, NFC Championship a few years back against the Buccaneers. I don't think he's the guy. Aaron Rodgers, he might be done. You saw him walking off with Randall Cobb. They were heading to the tunnels, arm around each other. He wanted that ball, that game ball that Williams had. He's like, I'm going to keep this one. Might be his last game at Lambeau. Who knows? But one thing I do know, it's the 49ers. They're moving on to the playoffs. They're going to face the Seattle Seahawks. And 49ers fans, this is what I want to know. At 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570, Xfinity Mobile text line, YouTube chat. You can hit me up there. You can hit me up at Twitter, at Spadoni_Joe. Have the expectations changed? Have they changed for you from what they were at the start of the season to now? Because at the start of the season, it was Trey Lance. If we make the playoffs, great, but it's all about his development. Well, he goes down week 2. You're already 0-1. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, we got Jimmy now. Well, maybe we're Super Bowl contenders again because we were in the NFC Championship game with him last year, and he wasn't even that healthy, right? So maybe with Jimmy, are we Super Bowl contenders? And then, he starts playing. It's like, okay, we're not looking too good. Oh, but we got Christian McCaffrey. This changes everything. Make the trade for him. Okay, we got lit up against the Chiefs, but you know what? We're starting to look better. This defense, it's humming. We're humming. And then Jimmy goes down, and it's like, okay, well, Jimmy's out in that Dolphins game. We're done. We got number 3rd string quarterback, Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. He's a rookie. Let's just get to the season. We'll see what things go. Are we going to bring Jimmy back? Nah. Not so fast. We're just going to keep winning. And that's what they've done with Brock Purdy, who looked great again yesterday. He was efficient, 15-20, a $178, 3 touchdowns. Didn't turn the ball over. He got sacked a couple times. Shout out J.J. Watt, who's retiring. Hell of a way to go out, doing his thing. 50 different quarterbacks sacked during his career for J.J. Watt. That is impressive. So congratulations to him on a wonderful career. He's a Hall of Famer, first ballot, no doubt about it. 3-time DPOY. One of the best defensive ends in my lifetime. Absolutely. I'm 29, so he is one of the best I've seen to do it. So shout out to him. It was cool to see a standing ovation from the Levi's crowd yesterday. Classy Levi's crowd. Easy to be classy when you're blowing them out of the water, though, and that's what the 49ers did. 38-13. They crushed them. And that's what you needed to do. You need to beat the bad teams as the 49ers go undefeated in the division in the regular season, and they're going to have a chance to go 7-0. They're going to hope to make it 7-0 this Saturday in the division for the whole season when they take on the Seattle Seahawks, who they handled twice this year. Obviously, they clinched the division a few weeks back in Seattle. A few weeks. Man, that was a month ago. Time's flying. It really is. It's already January 9th. It's crazy. But let me know at 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. Xfinity Mobile text line, YouTube chat. CT Niner on the chat. Rodgers is gone. He was almost crying in the booth last night. And now the expectations for the 49ers is a 6th Lombardi trophy. A lot of it on text line. Ernie Chavez. My guy. Love you, Ernie. Find a guy like Ernie in your life. That's the ultimate hype man for 95.7 The Game. Interacting with all the hosts, even the lowly serf down here that is Joe Spadoni. Shout out Ernie. He says Lombardi or bust. And I think that's a lot of what the fan base is thinking. However, I think NFC Championship or bust might be the right mindset, at least for me. Because I can't be mad at Brock Purdy if they come up short. And it's like, who are we going to crush? Shanahan? I mean, he's on his third string quarterback. But I understand the way he's been playing would, it's kind of skews things. It's like, he doesn't look like a rookie, but he is. No rookie's ever won the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy's trying to be the first guy ever to do that. There's been times where they've gotten close, gotten to the playoffs. Think of Ben Roethlisberger, right? But again, it's tough to win the whole thing. And I'm having a hard time getting mad at the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan, if they get to the NFC Championship, and let's say they lose to the Eagles, right? It's like, okay. Eagles are the best team in the conference all year. Is that a loser mentality? I don't think so. I think it's just realistic. Got to be a realist sometimes. And here on the pregame show is what I'm all about. Now, sometimes you can get caught up in Garoppolo mania. Shout out Guru. Get caught up in the Purdy pandemonium, if you will. But I think a reasonable expectation right now for this team is to at least get to the NFC Championship. You just look at the path right now. The path is set, by the way, for all of the playoff contenders, not named the Chiefs and Eagles this weekend because they obviously got the number 1 seed. So we got the times for you here. All the times as follows. 49ers Seahawks, 1:30 next Saturday on Fox, followed by the Chargers Jags. They got the night game on Saturday for NBC. And then you got Dolphins Bills, Giants Vikings, Ravens Bengals on Sunday. And then to round it all out, Monday Night Football on ESPN, the Cowboys and the Buccaneers. That'll be a fun one. Tampa Bay might be his last game in Tampa. Who knows? Against Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, who looked terrible yesterday. They played all their starters. Good Lord. A lot of bad performances yesterday. Obviously, the Packers take the cake. The Cowboys were bad. That was embarrassing. Dak throwing pick sixes. Rookie quarterback Sam Howell making his first start in the NFL. 26-6. Not a fun way to head into the playoffs if you're the Cowboys. Yikes. It's going to be a lot of fun, though. An awful lot of fun heading into next week. And we're going to talk about it all here on 95.7 The Game leading up to Saturday. Again, it's going to be the 49ers and Seahawks. Going to be the third time these teams play each other this season. 49ers obviously 2-0. With two different check that. 3 different quarterbacks. I mean, if you want to get technical, it was Trey Lance who was the starting quarterback, so he gets the win. But Trey Lance started it. Jimmy Garoppolo ended it in a win. And then Brock Purdy, he also beat the Seahawks in Seattle to clinch the division. That's 3 different quarterbacks that have already beaten the Seahawks this year. And Pete Carroll. Josh Johnson? Could he come up and mop up duty potentially and have 4 different quarterbacks beat you? That'd be embarrassing. But again, I'm not going to sleep on the Seahawks because beating a team for the third time, and this is a conversation we were having in the chat before the Lions-Packers game. In the roast chat, Sam Lubman was like, it's interesting. Do you want to have to play Aaron Rodgers, a guy you've owned in the playoffs? Right? So are you that concerned about it? However, he is a Hall of Fame quarterback, so I get it. But this is what Sam had to say. He's like, not sure who would be the better opponent would be. Packers are the hot team. Seahawks are struggling. Only reason I would not want to see the Seahawks is because it is very hard to beat an NFL team 3 times in 1 year. That's a fact. You saw them, the Niners try to do it last year in the NFC Championship game against the Rams. Came up short. Injuries played a part in that. But again, everyone's injured at this point in the season. Everyone's got injuries. No excuses. None. No excuses. You're the better team. You're the better coach team. You're the better, I'm going to say it, you have the better quarterback. Brock Purdy is better than Geno Smith right now. He's better. You got the better weapons. You got Christian McCaffrey. You got George Kittle. Debo, Ayuk. That combination with Ayuk and Purdy is something to watch right now, too. Yeah, we have the ones with George Kittle, and he's finding them in the end zone a lot more, and it's a sight to behold. But that connection with Ayuk, that's special. It's special. And here's that second touchdown catch for Kittle yesterday and how it sounded on Fox with Chris Myers and Robert Smith.
See if Mason gets his chance. Fake to him. Purdy throws, end zone, catch, he holds on, and that is another George Kittle touchdown. He had 5 touchdowns against Arizona in the last 2 games. And a 3-touchdown game for Purdy.
Game was such a blowout. Chris Myers was falling asleep on the call. It was just a blowout. After you thought maybe in the first play when they hit AJ Green, David Blau did. And no. After that, it was all she wrote. You saw the pass rush getting to him. David Blau making David Blau type mistakes. And that's all she wrote. 49ers win 38-13 to cap off a 13-4 season. And we're discussing it all right here on 95.7 The Game. Joe Spadoni. Once again, feel free to download that Odyssey app. And don't forget to shop 957thegameshop.com. Go to 957thegameshop.com. Get all that gear before the playoffs. We want to see you, hear you at Levi Stadium. I know Larry Krueger and Lo Neal, they'll be at the Hilton in Santa Clara getting you guys all ready for that game. It's going to be exciting. 49ers Seahawks this Saturday. Pete Carroll, part 3 of the season. Geno Smith, you know what? They wrote me, but I didn't write back. What was that? Is that what he said? Well, Geno, you have an opportunity this Saturday to make a lot of cheddar. I'll say that. Because I don't think you're the future in Seattle. I don't see it. Had a nice season. Your best season as a pro. But if you can beat this San Francisco 49ers team, I don't see how the Seahawks can't pay you. Right? I don't see it happening. I think the 49ers win by at least 2 touchdowns. But if you beat them, you're Geno Smith, Pete Carroll, you kidding me? It's the win of your career right there, and that goes without saying. So 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. Let's hear from Kyle Shanahan, the head coach, on his excitement heading into the playoffs after a huge win yesterday.
I feel real good. I felt real good about our team when we won the division there about a month ago, and I feel better about them now. I think we've gotten better since that point. We'll be ready to go, see if it's Saturday or Sunday, but excited for this week, excited to find out who we're playing, and real excited for the playoffs.
Playing the Seahawks, coach. Playing the Seahawks, and I think he is just fine with that. A team he is very familiar with. Division games, again, always weird. We saw that last night at Lambeau Field. No one gave the Lions a shot after they had nothing to play for. The Seahawks winning in overtime against the Rams ensured that. God, it would have been so great if the Rams had just pulled that one out. They had a chance. Baker Mayfield, God, had Van Jefferson wide open, underthrew him, night. Seahawks ended up winning. But, man, if the Lions had won that game, and maybe not. If you're a Niners fan, maybe you're glad that you're facing the Seahawks because that Lions team, scary. Scary talent on that Lions team on offense and those defense. Aiden Hutchinson was coming along. He was making plays. And a hot team they were. They won 8 of their last 10. And shout out Dan Campbell again. A hell of a season for them. 9-8, winning record. That's awesome. Just shy of the playoffs and beating your division rival and potentially forcing Aaron Rodgers into retirement. And Dan Campbell being the one. It's pretty funny. Here's more from Shanahan on what he saw to Brock Purdy yesterday.
I think he's playing consistent, and he's making some good decisions with the ball, has avoided some bad turnovers, and has done a good job getting some good players the ball who've done a good job making some plays, and hung in there on third down, made some key throws. It's nice to get a run game going too, but just overall, I thought the guys play real well.
Overall, absolutely. Saw a little bit yesterday for some of his greenness showing, if you will. Extending plays when you don't need to extend them, underestimating the speed of some of the defensive ends in this league. You can't underestimate the speed. Everyone is fast in this game at the NFL level. And Brock found that out yesterday, trying to roll out, trying to extend plays. But maybe just throw it away next time. But again, third string, he's learning. Less than 10 games even into his career so far. So he doesn't know any better. All he knows is how to win. And the 49ers keep doing that. And here is Kyle Shanahan after the game talking about being better now than when they clinched the division?
I think the more we play together, the more our guys stay healthy, the better they get. I think our running game's gotten better. Our guys just the way we've been blocking and stuff. I think, having Debo out, having Elijah out, it's allowed to put more pressure on other guys, which usually that helps guys. And I think it has. I think Christian's got a lot more used to kind of our style and stuff. And I think he's getting better as it goes. Sometimes it takes time to click, and I think we're getting better with time.
Oh, they're absolutely better than when they clinched the division. This offense is humming. CMC. I will say the defense, for only giving up the amount of points they did, 13 yesterday, there were times still where that secondary, and we were talking about it in the Morning Roast chat, Bonte's like, that secondary makes me nervous. Makes me nervous too. And if they play a team like the Vikings potentially, Cowboys, although the Cowboys, don't even get me started on Dak. He's whack Prescott until further notice. The Buccaneers with Evans, Godwin, who had another 1,000-yard season yesterday, clinching that for the third straight year. Scares me. That scares me. That is a vulnerable spot for the 49ers. But when you got Nick Bosa playing like he's playing, another couple sacks yesterday for him, and the DPOY, Armstead, all those guys, it makes things a little easier. But what we saw against the Raiders 2 weeks ago, right? You give a guy like Stidham time, or hell, any quarterback in the NFL that time, and you have those weapons, they're going to pick you apart. They're going to pick you apart. So just a little concerned about the defense heading into the Seattle Seahawks matchup. But again, they're going against Geno Smith, a guy that lately has liked to turn the ball over. But you can't sleep on those weapons. I will say that. Lockett, he's a stud. Can't sleep on him. So 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. Seahawks, concerned. Third time playing a team in the division. Concerning? I don't think so. And to Brandon's point on the YouTube, the Seahawks aren't built like the Rams were last year. No close games this year for them. I will agree. They're not the Rams of last year. Obviously, Rams winning the Super Bowl skews that a little bit. But the 49ers, they just had the Rams number always. Shanahan just owns McVay. By the way, Sean McVay, see what they had to say? He might be done. He might be retiring. What is he, 36? This is 6 years in the league. In fairness to Sean, I'm not mad at him. I know a lot of Niners fans are, scoffing at that, and then things get tough. You win the Super Bowl, have a bad year, a lot of injuries. Now you want to walk away. Try being 36, multimillionaire, beautiful wife. You got everything. You got a nice mansion down in LA. You want to start a family. You already got your Super Bowl, maybe get into the broadcasting game. I'm not mad at that. More people need to live their lives the way they want to live them. I'm not mad at Sean for wanting to do that. Do I think he's scared for fighting through adversity? No. The guy went to a Super Bowl with two different quarterbacks, and Jared Goff and now Matt Stafford, and won one of them. What else is there more to accomplish? If you wanted to play 10 years, be like a John Madden or a Bill Walsh type, maybe he's just not built like that. But we'll see. There was a guy like John Gruden, and now obviously he's now disgraced and whatnot. I'm not comparing Sean McVay to him at all. But for a guy that won a Super Bowl at a young age and went to the broadcasting booth and just ate at him, wanting to come back. The rumors obviously always swirled every year. Is John Gruden going to come back? He's itching. Is he going to come coach this team? The Raiders. They finally came back. And then look what happened. His whole reputation's ruined. Now it was ruined because of his own doings and the emails and all that sort of stuff. How'd those things even come to light if he came back to coaching? I'm not sure. But leaving and then coming back, it's not always the wisest thing. So for Sean McVay, he's got an interesting offseason. Just wanted to touch on that a little bit, as the NFC West is looking like it's going to be the 49ers to dominate for the next, 5 years, 4 years, 3 years at the minimum. Like, just look at the team you beat yesterday, the Arizona Cardinals. They are in shambles. They are in Bryson DeChambles. Kyler Murray, he's out. He's never going to be the same quarterback again. I'm putting it right now. Lock that in. A guy that's that size, his game is predicated on speed and being able to extend plays with his legs. Tearing your ACL and meniscus, yeah, you're never going to be the same again. Might want to think about going up to the Bay and playing with the A's. The Seahawks are they're a wild card team. They have a top 5 pick, right? And what is it, the number 3? You need to look at the draft order. But if they have the number 3 pick, NFL draft, let's look at the order right now. The first 18 picks are in. And let's see here. Number 5. So, yeah. They're the number 5 pick. Are they going to be looking for a quarterback? CJ Stroud? Maybe? Are they going to trade that? We'll see. Seahawks are a wild card. Pete Carroll, he's doing a hell of a job. He's still a hell of a coach. And as once again, they are playing the 49ers this Saturday at Levi's Stadium. They are the early game. And then just to look at the team we were just mentioning, the Rams. Matt Stafford, hurt, getting older. Ramsey, he's okay. He was making some plays yesterday against the Seahawks. Aaron Donald, getting older. He might be ready to hang him up. Bobby Wagner, old. Cooper Kupp, still young. But there's a lot of problems with the team. Draft capital being one of them. They do not have a lot of it. Lions got their pick this year. Lions are looking like the team above. And do you think the Rams are going to trade that Super Bowl trophy? No, of course not. They got the Super Bowl. McVay was able to beat Shanahan in the biggest game between them and their careers. And he's fine with that. He's at peace. But if you're the 49ers fans and you're looking at this division, it's time to get fat and happy. It's definitely time to get fat and happy. Fat and happy. Say happy. Man. Rodgers to the Niners from the YouTube chat? CT Niner? No chance. No chance. Why would you want Rodgers? By the way, if we're just going to go down this rabbit hole for a second at 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570, Xfinity mobile text line. Again, please be safe out there, folks, driving in. If you're on the Odyssey app, what have you, please be safe. Drive defensively. Just don't drive stupid. Don't be aggressive. Don't be trying to cut off anyone. You can wait. You can always wait. Don't pull out that phone. Put the phone down in the car. It's windy. It's wet. Hydroplaning everywhere. Be safe. Be safe. But back to Aaron Rodgers and from CT Niner on the YouTube chat. We are live on YouTube. Hello. Why would Aaron Rodgers, why would the 49ers entertain that? You have Brock Purdy. You have Trey Lance. You don't need Aaron Rodgers. You don't. You're doing just fine with a young quarterback. It's the same thing with Tom Brady. I don't think you need those guys. You're looking now for the quarterback that's going to dominate this division for the next 5 to 10 years. And you may have it in Brock Purdy. You may have it in Trey Lance. But I know you don't need a guy for 1 or 2 years that might win it for you, and a guy that's, quite honestly, kind of a choker. I know he won the Super Bowl, but the same way Peyton Manning won 2 Super Bowls, and one of them was against Rex Grossman and in the rain against the Bears, not known for their offense, by the way. Like, Peyton Manning was always labeled as a playoff choker, and I think deservedly so. He's a hell of a quarterback. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. You can be one of those and still be called a choker in the playoffs, and quite honestly, Aaron Rodgers is that. I don't want him. I don't want him. We're going to take a quick break here. Coming back, we're going to hear from Brock Purdy, the man of the year so far. It might be the offensive rookie of the year. We'll have to look at that. We're going to hear from what he had to say after the game. As the 49ers, they take out the Arizona Cardinals 38-13. They improved to 13-4 on the season. They're going to be taking on the Seattle Seahawks this Saturday at Levi's Stadium. We'll have all that coverage for you here, right here on 95.7 The Game. Leading up to the game, Larry Krueger and Lone Neal, they'll be live from Santa Clara, I'm sure, for that one. Can't wait. Hopefully the rain subsides. Be safe out there. It is wet, ladies and gentlemen. If you would like to get involved at 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570, Xfinity mobile text line. Also, YouTube is up. This is the pregame show with Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game.
If your resolutions include more energy, stamina, fire in the bedroom, or losing weight once and for all, listen up. Thousands of proactive patients have met or exceeded these goals with the caring team at Balanced Medical Solutions, the Bay Area's premier vitality clinic dedicated to helping all patients enjoy long, healthy lives full of energy, vigor, and sexual satisfaction. Until the end of the month, mention this station to get an evaluation with comprehensive labs, including hormone tests, for only $69. Call now, 510-679-3300, or visit balancedmedicalsolutions.com.
Hi, welcome to IKEA and our winter sale. Hi. We've got hundreds of offers on everything from storage solutions to...
I'm sorry, did you say hundreds?
Yeah. Check out our offers on shelving and desks.
Ooh, what about mattresses?
Yep, those too.
Dressers? Sofas?
Yes and yes.
I think I need a bigger cart.
Our winter sale is almost over. Visit us in-store or at IKEA-USA.com/offers to save through January 22nd. Offer dates may vary. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary by store and online. See store and IKEA-USA.com/offers for complete terms. Restrictions apply.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
Hi, I'm Aaron, owner of California Deluxe Windows. Ever notice? When your neighbors get new windows, there is a large black eye of broken stucco, uneven plaster, and even mismatched paint. At California Deluxe Windows, we never leave a ring around the window. Why? Because we are one of the only companies in California who custom crafts every window and door to your home's exact measurements. Almost everyone else on the radio is a distributor. They grab a window from a warehouse, break open your walls, shove it in, and patch things up. At California Deluxe Windows, we take pride in our work. Our installation technique is so precise, we do not break your stucco. Your house could be covered with potato chips, and we wouldn't crack one.
Call now, and for a limited time, you get 30% off your entire order and 24 months of interest-free financing. 800-874-3600. 800-874-3600. That's 800-874-3600. California Deluxe Windows. Windows engineered for life.
Certain terms and conditions apply. CSLB number 774518.
Kirby is your driveway mechanic. They bring the shop to you with brake replacements, oil changes, washes, and so much more. Get $50 off your first oil change with code OIL50 at Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com and use code OIL50.
When back to the office means back in traffic.
Tracking the 3 right lanes, multiple emergency crews on the scene.
You can rely on your Northern California Honda Dealers Traffic Center.
On the shoulder now, so that's good. Traffic is getting by.
From your traffic leader, KCBS.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Now, back to the pregame show on 95.7 The Game.
Welcome back. Pregame show with Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game. 49ers 38, Cardinals 13. 49ers improved to 13-4 and will be taking on the Seattle Seahawks next Saturday at Levi's Stadium for a wild card matchup. It's exciting. It's exciting. Be excited, 49ers fans. I think you're playing with house money. I really do. Brock Purdy's looking like the quarterback of the future. And wasn't that the goal this season with Trey Lance anyways? Right? Hey, we got Trey Lance. If we can just make the playoffs and he's looking like a good quarterback and the quarterback of the future, that's good enough for me. Well, Brock Purdy, He's looking like the quarterback of the future. Now, will he flame out in the playoffs? That remains to be seen, but he hasn't shown me anything that he would up to this point. Right? If the goal this season was to get to the playoffs and to improve at the quarterback position, a position that you would like to have sustained for at least the next 10 to 15 years, you might already have it with Brock Purdy. Speaking of the quarterback, here he is talking, and he's a third string, right? It's hard for a guy like Brock Purdy to have a voice in the locker room coming in. When already had Jimmy Garoppolo, who had been established voice there for a long time, Trey Lance. He was starting to be that new voice, and it's like, hey, hi, I'm Brock. What's up, guys? Here's him talking about finding his voice in the locker room.
Yeah, I mean, I do my part with, talking to Greasy and when the right time is to, talk to guys, not try to just be a rah-rah guy, but at the right moments in the game. But yeah, I think I'm hard on myself, so it starts with myself. I feel like I had to do my part and be better early on before I could, say something to anyone else, So that's just really how today went.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The best quarterbacks are always the best people anyways in any field or walk of life. They're always hardest on themselves because they demand perfection. If you demand perfection from yourself and you don't settle for mediocrity, for anything but perfection, good things are going to happen. And Brock Purdy, his work ethic. And one thing I will say for this 49ers team, they're hard workers, man. You just see them putting in the effort every single game. Whether it's on defense, they play for their coaches. On offense, both sides of the ball. Their motors are high. And I think that's one of the biggest compliments you can give a team is just effort. And you can see when teams aren't doing it. I watched a team, my favorite team all season. Effort was gone in the third and fourth quarters. You know the team I'm talking about. I want to bring them up. Bring negativity to the show today. Thanks for showing up on Saturday, by the way. God. Embarrassing. Anyways, hard work, dedication. That's what the 49ers do. They put in the work and good things happen. And Brock Purdy, he knows what the goal is.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously the main goal. It's been the goal really since these guys played last year, before all the rookies and everyone got here. That's the main focus and goal. Obviously, throughout the year, you want to focus week to week, gain momentum and things like that. But obviously, we're at the point in the season where it's, the regular season's over and now the tournament starts. And this is, the real ball that really matters. Every single day is going to be vital in terms of getting better and, being able to understand what our opponent's going to be doing. Like, it matters. So coach definitely stressed that to us after the game today. And, we're already getting ready for what's to come.
Goals win a Super Bowl. Could have done a better job throwing to that, but that was what the question was. Is the goal still to win a Super Bowl? And that's absolutely what the goal still is. From the 415 Xfinity Mobile and Text line, and you can get involved at 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. Spadoni, I haven't heard that one before. Purdy might be able to get to the dance with the poor NFC. How will the Niners fare against KC? The goal is to win it all, not be close. No, disagree. I am not going to come on these airwaves and be so mad because Brock Purdy lost to Patrick Mahomes, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Yeah, it would be nice to beat him. Yes. But if that's the matchup in the Super Bowl, all the pressure is going to be on KC. Brock Purdy is going to be playing with house money, and I am not going to crush them for losing to a generational talent and one of the greatest skilled quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life in Patrick Mahomes. I don't think that's fair. That's why I said anything after the NFC Championship is gravy. You get to it, that's fine for me. And I know expectations have changed for a lot of fans because of Purdy's play, and I get that. And that's fair. That's why I said NFC Championship at the very least. Anything short of that feels like a disappointment. What say you at 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. 707 Xfinity Mobile text line. Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant. He is still Mr. Irrelevant. Purdy is making timely throws, smart runs, and securing the ball. It is Purdy's job to lose from this point forward. I agree. It's a conversation for another day. But again, if the goal of this season was for Trey Lance to at least get to a playoff game and for the 49ers to find their quarterback of the future, they might have already done that with Brock Purdy. So that's why I'm saying, the season's already a success. It's already a success. Xfinity Mobile text line. 415. Will it be a storybook ending with Arizona hometown Brock going home to win the Super Bowl? Doesn't get any more Disney Channel than that, right? Shout out Disney Channel original movies. Big Johnny Tsunami guy. Right? What's your favorite Disney Channel original movie at 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570? Don't sleep on Luck of the Irish either. It's a solid one. 707. It is pretty wild that Brock Purdy is living Trey Lance's timeline. Switch the names and everyone would be casting him as the next Montana. Yeah. It's a good point. It's a good point. And listen, Trey Lance, I'm not ready to throw dirt on him yet. I'm not ready to call his career over with the 49ers. For all we know, again, Brock Purdy's so young, so that's why this is still hypothetical. For all we know, Brock Purdy could go in against Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll has a whole new game plan for him this Saturday at Levi's, and they make him flustered. He throws a pick six. Oh my goodness, he's not ready for this stage. Let's have a quarterback competition again next year. That could absolutely happen. I'm not banking on it, but that could absolutely happen. So I'm not here to throw shade or dirt on Trey Lance's tenure as a 49er in his career yet. I think he still has an awful lot to play for, and his time is not up here. And we will see what happens going forward through this playoffs. Purdy wins the whole thing. Maybe look for another team potentially, because I don't see how he can come back. But we'll get there when we get there, as is the case. We're live on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, how you doing? And also, be sure to shop 957thegameshop.com. Go to 957thegameshop.com. Get all that Niners gear. Get all your morning roast gear, Wheeler Dibs, Steiny Goo, Damon Rattle. Get all that gear before this playoff run. You're going to be wanting to rock it. People are going to be like, man, that's a cool shirt. Where'd you get it? Well, let me tell you. I heard Joe Spadoni on the pregame show mention 957thegameshop.com, and I just had to buy myself something. That relevant shirt. Am I right? Don't worry, folks. I know you guys keep texting in the YouTube chat's on fire wanting me to get my own merch. Don't worry. If you guys keep talking about it, we will get some. 925 Xfinity Mobile text line. Shan's offense is quarterback friendly. Shan's, he must be tight with Shanahan if he's calling him Shans. Shout out Shams Charania. Shan's offense is quarterback friendly. Short routes and run game. Brock Purdy is the perfect system quarterback. Yes. It's absolutely perfect. He's been thriving in this system. And don't say it's that easy, though, because it's not. Because I'm seeing throws and a guy extending plays like I never saw Jimmy Garoppolo, save for maybe his first 6 games of the team. And maybe Jimmy would have been that same quarterback had he not torn his ACL. He was infinitely less athletic post that. Couldn't scramble for his life. It was just hold your breath every time he would try to run past the line of scrimmage. But with Purdy, and you saw him get a little arrogant with his legs yesterday and it burned him a couple times. But he's got a very quick twitch, if you will. He's twitchy. Is that what the NFL draft season, which is going to be taking place for the next couple months? He's twitchy. Deceptive speed, if you will. But he's, system quarterback, I don't care, whatever you want to label him. He's a hell of a quarterback. Game manager. I know what he's doing. He's throwing 15 to 20 for $178 and 3 touchdowns and no picks, no turnovers. I'm cool with that as my quarterback. Are you? 888-957-9570. We got one more segment here before tossing over to Morning Roast. Bonte Hill, Joe Shasky, they're fired up as the 49ers improved to 13-4. They will be taking on the Seattle Seahawks this Saturday at Levi's Stadium, and we'll have all that coverage leading up to the game right here on 95.7 The Game. So we got one more segment coming up. 888-957-9570. Xfinity Mobile text line, 888-957-9570. YouTube, fire up that YouTube. We are live there. Come on back. Joe Spadoni, pregame show, 95.7 The Game.
Brock Purdy and the 49ers are the 2 seed in the NFC.
Brock Purdy will dump it off to McCaffrey. He's headed for the end zone, and Christian McCaffrey has a 49er touchdown.
Their first round opponent will be the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a heavyweight boxing fight. I know that it's going to be gritty.
It's playoff football time. We're going back to the playoffs. 95.7 The Game.
Bonus days are back for pros at Lowe's. You earn points and save when you buy the top pro brands you trust, like DeWalt. Right now, you can save $100 on the powerful DeWalt 8 1/4-inch carbide tipped portable table saw. Was $399, now just $299. Join today and shop bonus days, only at Lowe's. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 1/20, subject to change while supplies last. Visit Lowes.com/MVP's bonus points for details.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Bonus days are back for pros at Lowe's. You earn points and save when you buy the top pro brands you trust, like DeWalt. Right now, you can save $100 on the powerful DeWalt 8 1/4-inch carbide tipped portable table saw. Was $399, now just $299. Join today and shop bonus days, only at Lowe's. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 1/20, subject to change while supplies last. Visit Lowes.com/MVP's bonus points for details.
Meet Joe A,
Hi.
Joe B,
Hello.
and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect, support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Norman, we need to pause this surgery.
What, doctor?
Well, we need to hurry to the Xfinity Hello 2023 sale. New Xfinity customers can get 75 megabit internet for just $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. Plus, when you add 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile, you get $500 back for a limited time.
Drop everything. Get to the Xfinity Hello 2023 sale now through January 10th. Go to Xfinity.com/Hello 2023 to learn more. Restrictions apply. Internet offer requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After term, regular rates apply. Xfinity Internet required for Xfinity Mobile.
From the beginning, Mara West Credit Union was created to provide a brighter financial future for you. We work hard for our members because they're our greatest strength.
Mara West worked for me when I needed an auto loan for my first car.
When I need to make a mobile payment, Mara West works for me.
Put our premier savings account to work for you, now paying up to 25 times the national average. Mara West Credit Union, working for you today, tomorrow, together.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. Now that we have started a new year, think about ways you can help the environment. First, make the switch to green soaps and personal products, and green cleaning products for the sink and shower. Use towels made from materials like organic cotton. And finally, make the switch to LED lights, which can last for many years and use very little power. When we each share our one thing, it becomes 100 things, 1,000 things, 1,000,000 things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Hey, I'm Andy. I started Harry's because I was frustrated with buying razors at the drugstore. And when I say frustrated, I mean like so upset I called my friend Jeff.
Hello, this is Jeff.
Jeff, I'm at the store, and I don't get why these razors
cost so much?
Yeah, and do they need to look like robots?
Dude, I know. And it's so frustrating how expensive they are.
Getting ripped off sucks.
We gotta do something about this.
Why don't we make our own high-quality razors at much better prices?
Actually, I heard about this German razor factory that makes some really high-quality blades.
Really? Okay, maybe that's not exactly how it went. But we did buy that German factory, where we're turning high-quality steel into super sharp blades for a smooth shave at a great price. Seriously, as low as $2 per cartridge. Over the past 10 years, 20 million people have tried Harry's. Join them and get your starter set now. That's a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, and shave gel, all for just $3 with free shipping, backed by our quality guarantee. If you don't like it, it's on us. Just go to harrys.com now and enter code SMOOTH at checkout. That's harrys.com, code SMOOTH.
Now, back to the pregame show on 95.7 The Game.
Welcome back. Pregame show. 95.7 The Game with Joe Spadoni. Got one more segment here for you before tossing it over to the morning roast. Can't wait for that. They're fired up. 49ers 38, Cardinals 13 as they improved to 13-4 and clinched the number 2 seed in the NFC. They'll be taking on the number 7 seed Seattle Seahawks this Saturday at Levi Stadium. They get to kick off the action. They get to kick off the playoff action. Now, what does that tell me? That tells me you're trying to read through the weeds. Does Fox or the powers that be in the NFL think that it's going to be a blowout? You put a major brand in a rivalry that early? Like, we couldn't have had that be the Sunday night or the Saturday night football game, but except the Jags and the Chargers. If you want to go by quarterback matchup, Jags-Chargers, a lot sexier. Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, 2 young quarterbacks. Maybe they start a rivalry that they play for the next decade. Or do you want Brock Purdy v. Geno Smith? And maybe I need to stop throwing shade on Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. He's been awesome. Put some respect on his name. Don't laugh when you talk about Brock Purdy. It's just you just got to laugh at the entire just notion of what's going on this year. I mean, he's a third-string quarterback, came in for an injured Jimmy Garoppolo, who came in for an injured Trey Lance. Like, this season has gone so many different twists and turns, and then the Niners, they just keep winning. They just keep winning. Got blown out against the Chiefs, and you know what? That was it. That was it. So 888-957-9570 is 888-957-9570. Xfinity mobile text line if you'd like to get involved. 95.7 The Game app. Go ahead and download that. Favorite 95.7. We want to hear from you. YouTube is up. Please get involved. I'm already seeing some of you throw out your favorite Disney Channel original movies. What's this one going to be called with Brock Purdy when he leads the 49ers to the Super Bowl? Let me know that at 888-957-9570. Brink. Oh, classic. Soul Skaters, bro? Soul Skaters? That's a classic one. That's a very niche topic, too, if you watch Disney Channel original movies, because I'm 29, and that was like from a 98 to like 2006. Yeah, Shasky's looking at me like, what the hell am I talking about? Brock Purdy, Shasky, he's going to have his own Disney Channel original movie.
Yeah.
Once the story comes out after he leads the Niners to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So we're just discussing our favorite shows. Joe Shasky, by the way, Morning Roast. How you doing, buddy? Decked out all Niners gear.
It's one of those days.
Dude, it's one of those days. What a win.
I know. Well, it was actually, it was a ridiculous game if you're the Arizona Cardinals, and just Chris Myers is one of the all-time
falling asleep, by the way,
frauds.
On that, dude.
One of the all-time frauds. Like, this guy's been stealing money as a sideline reporter for years, and I don't know why they throw him in the booth. He's terrible. We can't. I'm honest to God. I'm asking you the honest to God seriousness. We can't do better in 2023 than Chris Myers.
See if Mason gets his chance. Fake to him. Purdy throws, end zone, catch, he holds on, and that is another.
Oh, wow, you woke up there finally, Chris. Thanks.
America loses their mind. America loses their mind
seconds in.
unfairly on teachers for tenure. Like, you hear this a lot from like the anti-teacher crowd. Oh, tenure! What about sideline reporter tenure where they give this guy play-by-play duties when there are 8 gajillion youngsters who deserve opportunities?
Yeah, that's one of those things, though, right? Like, it's hard to just force those guys out that have been there for 20-plus years.
Am I tripping, or is he horrible?
No, he's not the best. Like, but that's why they gave him that matchup, because they was like, this game doesn't really matter.
But develop some young people. Yeah. Like, you got Al, who's 100,000 years old, and then you got Chris Myers, who, like, even on his best day, he's a mediocre sideline reporter.
Well, no, it's good to have, what is it, CBS, they have Noah Eagle, Ian Eagle's son, he's good. Yeah. Sounds just like his dad, though.
Yeah,
which
nepotism,
is like,
which is fine. Like, we acknowledge it.
But that's the thing. And then you have also, Collinsworth's son, who does, like, the broadcasting for, like, NBC and stuff like that. So you have, like, some young guys, like, there. But to your point, no, it's true. Get the young guys a chance. Brock Purdy, he's a young guy, Shasky. You like that segue? He's the young guy that got a chance.
Not McSwirly.
Not Trace McSorley. Not David Blau.
How about,
by the way, first play, it's like, oh my God, is this going to be one of those days?
Oh my God. Well, if you're looking for
50 million-year-old AJ Green high pointing the ball. Domino Lenore.
Well, yeah, look, we'll
get into that later. But
that's why I didn't want to face Green Bay, because the reason why, it's not that I think the personnel for the wide receiver position for Seattle is better. I actually think they're a very underrated pass team, because Geno just broke the Seattle pass record, which was crazy. I didn't have that on my flow chart, but I look at like what Aaron Rodgers can do in an individual game, and I worry because I go back to, I think it was the second week last year when they played him, and he did the quick one-step drop, and he was just bombing, and it turned into either defensive pass interference happiness, where the flags were just all over the place, or it was Devontae high-pointing balls over guys. And so I worry about facing one of those kinds of quarterbacks who can go in the shotgun and take one step and just kind of pick on somebody. And so of all, like, I know there's a divisional opponent here. It's Pete. Like, there's a lot going on. The Niners really lucked out in terms of you don't have to face Brady yet. You don't have to face Philly yet. And you get to see what happens with the Giants and the Minnesota Vikings. Now, I fear Minnesota's passing game, but in terms of how the bracket's shaken down, I feel like they caught a break.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And, I was at that same mindset we were talking about yesterday, and Sam was like, he's like, would you rather face a team 3 times? Or Aaron, I was like, it's not that hard. You don't want to face the Hall of Fame quarterback.
Exactly.
But as that game kept unfolding last night, I was like, there's just something with Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur when it comes to playoff time. They get tight, dude. LaFleur specifically going for it. What is it? The second or first quarter on your own 30 or 35, whatever. I was like, what are you doing on fourth down? Easily get snuffed out. They only get a field goal out of it. But I was like, you know what? Going up against a team with nothing to lose, and it showed last night, you get trickeration from the Lions. They didn't care. And shout out Dan Campbell mid-game being like, dude.
So America's
team. So America's. Dan Campbell being during the game. We don't want them to win. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't want Aaron Rodgers and free. We only won 3 times the last 30 years at Lambeau.
Crazy.
4th time last night. And shout out Jared Goff, dude. Hell of a game from him. Jamal Williams, guy's a badass. His one of the funniest post-game interviews I've ever seen. Just guy's hilarious.
No,
too.
He's absolutely classic. He gave an anime drop at the beginning of the.
Shout Naruto.
I was like, what did he just say? I'm not versed in that anime.
No, yeah.
But you know me.
Me and Anthony Lamb, we are. So.
Yeah, I like going off script. So I Googled what it was, and I was like, oh my God, this guy he's on a whole nother level. Like, I love this dude. Here's the other thing. I'm watching that Green Bay game, and like the week that we had, just the week that we've had, the last 3 years that we've had, for you to push a trainer, to push a doctor, to push someone like
Quay Walker,
Like, and then look, I don't know. Maybe it was instincts. He thought it was a player. I'm not sure. Like, I don't want to make excuses for him, but if he knew that was a trainer, what are you doing?
Well, yeah, he was hovering. What it looked like, Quay Walker, the defensive player for the Packers, he was standing around. If you didn't know, who was it, Swift or Williams? It was Swift. He got a forearm to the head.
Yes.
Should have been
It was a nasty
hit. Easily should have been a penalty. They didn't call it. And then they were all hovering around Swift. And the trainer's like, hey, just like tried to shove him out. He's like, listen, I need to get to my player.
Yeah.
So the trainer like just not gently, but a little just nudge. And then Quay Walker's like just turns and then looks at him first, then pushes him. Like, you can't do that, dude.
I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? It's so stupid. And then less than a week after Hamlin, Denny Kellington, want to get the Bills athletic trainer's name right. He was the guy that delivered CPR on the field that saved his life.
A hero.
Saved his life, saved his brain, his intent neurologically, and all that stuff. And for you, less than a week after that, to shove a trainer, just a bad look.
Totally.
It's a bad look.
And one thing, as you bring up the Bills thing, I know a lot of people aren't religious, and look, to each their own, right? That's fine. You know, you're entitled to believe whatever you want. That's the beauty of America, and I appreciate the diversity of thought. I believe in a higher power, right? I that's me, okay? I mean, if you believe in a higher power like I do, it felt like divine intervention in the Buffalo game. Are you kidding me? Now, you can say, Joe, that's just sports. I'll listen to that. You can say that was a higher power. I'll listen to that. That was amazing.
It reminded me of Gleason.
Yes.
And after Hurricane Katrina, the blocked punt, all that touchdown, like, it was just special, and it was really cool to see. And the Bills, man, they're rolling. That was a division game. That was a big win for them against the Patriots. Now, that's if they meet in the playoffs against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, it's going to be a neutral site. Vegas?
I mean, well, Jerry Jones is going to to get that revenue.
Of course,
I mean, come on,
because the Cowboys aren't going to be. They're not going to be using it. Right?
We will gift it, and then here's my thing. This is what I will say: we'll gift it to Jerry Jones. It has to be in an outdoor stadium. That's what
I don't think they're going to do that, though.
No, I know they're not. But
it should be, because both of those teams play outdoors.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's my. If I was running the league, I would be like, look, guys, I know Jerry's going to want his hands on it. Vegas is going to want their hands on it. What I would say is Pittsburgh or the New York Giants Stadium. It's got to be. To me, it's got to be some. And maybe that's giving an advantage to Buffalo in terms of proximity. It's got to be outdoors, somewhere where there's some weather involved here.
Yeah, they're going to probably do it in Indianapolis. That's just the perfect venue for that. They're obviously out of the playoffs. Indy. They do, the NCAA tournament every year there, whatever. So that place is perfect already. So, 49ers, Seahawks.
I love it.
Pete Carroll, is he a juicy fruit guy, Shasky? What do you think? He's a big juicy fruit guy.
I was listening to you say this. Did you know that Big League Chew, the shredded chew?
Yeah.
I watched this documentary about a baseball team that Kurt Russell's dad owned up in Portland.
You keep telling me about this. I have to see it. It must be amazing.
Some guy on that team developed the Big League Chew and made millions and millions of dollars off of it. So I was thinking to myself, the amount of gum he chews. It's one of two questions. Either it is. How he doesn't have a sponsorship is beyond me, number one. Number two, do you know how much chewing that jaw must do? You must lose the sugar and flavor out of that gum immediately. So it's got to be something that's long-lasting, right?
Yeah, that's juicy fruit, right?
You think juicy fruit's number one?
I'm trying to think of long-lasting gum that doesn't stink. Because Trident's pretty good for me, but that's too small. He'd have to toss in a couple of those things.
I'm not a big gum chewer.
No, I used to be in high school and stuff like that. Shout out for other reasons, but we won't get into that. But I'm just masking up some sense and stuff like that. But we'll leave that there, Shasky.
It's legal.
Oh, by the way, from the YouTube chat, Oakland Coliseum. How about play there?
Oh, that would be hilarious.
That would also be
bracing the elements of sanitation.
Chiefs winning in that place too, just in their dagger in Raider fans' hearts. By the way,
we're here. Ring around the rosy. Offended? Hilarious?
Well, the play didn't work. It was a penalty, so it was just.
Can I be honest? Why don't teams do that more often in terms of breaking from the huddle and then lining up and going quickly? I'm asking schematically.
I'll say this: Andy Reid's ability in the red zone to just. He throws out everything. He just tosses the kitchen sink. I need to score here.
Remember when they did
that? I need
to
see more of that from Shanahan. Sorry, not to cut you off.
Yeah.
When it gets to the playoffs, and listen, I'm crushing a team that scored 38 yesterday. But Shanahan, I feel right? I'm crushing but in the red zone, I would like to see some of that more trickeration. I feel like I don't see it as much with Shanahan, but I see it with Reid a lot. And to your point, why don't teams do that more? Just misdirection.
Just running it quickly up there and trying to catch someone off guard. Last thought before we close it up here. It's going to be me and the callers today. Bonte's a little sick right now. So 888-957-9570. Line them up. Me and the callers. I'm so fired up. We got Seattle. One last thing. J.J. Watt. I don't know where he ranks. I don't know if he's better than Lawrence Taylor. I don't think he's better than Reggie White.
One of the best of my lifetime, defensive players.
He's
absolutely.
a top 10 in my life all-time player. Now, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. I'm just trying to go Aaron Donald, him, Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White. I got to give room for, Ed Reed or Ronnie Lott. There are other, Rod Woodson. There are other positions. Charles Woodson. God, there's so many great players. I know he doesn't have the longevity, a Patrick Willis. There are guys in my life that I hold in such high regard. I don't know where he ranks, but I'll tell you this. Eddie D would have called that man this offseason and say, are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to be a situational player for the Niners and win that ring?
Eddie D, Al Davis, those guys can't have too many, right? Can't have too much of them. That's Joe Shasky. He's coming up next in the morning. Oh, real quick, Shasky. TCU, Georgia. Who you got tonight?
Oh, I'm rooting for TCU. I can't watch Sterling Bennett. I just can't.
Who's he going to play for? Sterling Bennett's going to play for a team next year, and it's going to be like the Colts or something.
No, it's going to be Belichick.
Oh,
he's going to draft him in the 6th round.
That is a great call. That's a great way to end this. Stetson Bennett's going to be a future New England Patriot. That game's tonight. Can't wait for that. Joe Shasky next. Morning Roast, 95.7 The Game.